Ah, sure, he's over there, you know. Yeah, he's living over there in Tokyo, you know. Got a little place in little apartment. Bit expensive now, you know. But sure, what can you do? Anyway, he's over there and doing a bit of writing, you know. He's writing something. Plays, I think it is. Stories. He might have a bit of a novel on the way as well. Stuff like that, you know. So why not? So they're all doing it, aren't they? So they're all doing it. That's the latest craze now. It's either music or the writing, bit of writing. So there's no harm in it. It's all like therapy, you know. Yeah. I only hope now he settles down a bit, you know. Gets his stuff together a little bit. But, you know, he's a bit all over the place. Oh, I told him, I says, now, you go over there now to Tokyo. You have to think about coming back. You know, once you go away, you know, things move along at home. You can't just come back. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But he's fine, you know, basically he's fine, I think. Paying a bit now for that little apartment. They're only a little place he'd have now. There'd only be little places to be living in over there. Tiny little boxes, like rabbit hutches. They're good. They pay a fortune for them. The rent now will be very high. But that's the way, you know. What can you do? That's the way it is over there. Everybody's doing the same thing. Same for everybody, you know. You get used to it, I suppose, like everything else. You get used to the small space. It's, you know, that's what he's doing anyway. And, so whatever else he's doing with his time, I couldn't really tell you, you know. He doesn't say much. Probably out, you know, out doing stuff. But now, please God, now, a couple of years, give it a couple of years, I say, you know, a couple of years in Tokyo, and he'll settle down, hopefully, settle down a bit, you know. Because, you know, he's kind of all over the place, you know, very disorganized. And yeah, you know, he's a young child now in Spain with a Spanish woman in Madrid. You know, whatever happened with her, it didn't work out anyway. And he left, you know, left the kid and all there, left the country. She's there now, raising that young fella, little boy, Jose, over there, no father, Spanish mother. So she's over there now in Spain, and I wouldn't say they have too many words to say to each other, you know, by the telephone or the internet, email, probably the odd email message, you know, just to say how are you, and just to keep the line open. But sure, you'd be thinking about that all the time, wouldn't you? You know. Anyway, he's that there, and then he's a bit of an old place you got in America, you know, an old shack, a house, one of these old houses they do have over there, you know. So they're big falling down, timber houses, but they're old and they're rotten and everything, rotten, and they'd also have rotten stuff in the basement. So the minute he paid for the fucking place, you know, it cost a fortune, bought the house. First thing he sees is the termites after eating their way through the wooden basement, the poles holding the basement up, the whole house up. So we had to get that sorted, you know, it cost a few bob. And so by the time he got all that fixed and sorted out, so didn't the job finish? And he had to leave. Visa and everything was up. So off he went again, the itinerant, and left that old house still over there, you know, still worrying about that. What's going to happen? Are there mice in there? Are there squirrels in the roof? Are the tenants paying the rent? You know, there's the snow collapsing the roof in the winter and everything, you name it. Because they'd have severe conditions over there, you know. But sure, you know, I suppose that's what they're all doing now, aren't they? They're buying houses all over the world and they're travelling, moving on to another place. You know, the grass is always greener. So that's what they do. So I suppose you can't really blame them, can you? When it's so easy to move around, why would you stay where you were? Not like years ago, you know. They'd be waiting for the letter from whoever went away, or if you were away, you'd be waiting from a letter home to get a bit of news. So nowadays, every day you can be on the internet, you know. But sure, there you have it. There he is. But sure, I do often ask myself the same question, you know. What in the name of God made him go there, you know, of all places? I mean, he could have come home. I mean, his room is there, you know. We keep the room out the back. You wouldn't have to pay anything for it. Stay here. His old bedroom. He's welcome back here anytime. Why in the name of Jesus would you go all the way over to Tokyo, the most expensive fucking place in the world to live, you know, and get a little shoebox? Cost a fortune. And so you can't even find a job over there, you know. He's a bit of an old job, you know. He was to be trying to teach them a bit of English. But sure, they can't fucking learn, you know. I don't know what's wrong with them at all. They seem to have a strange way about them altogether. Sure, he'd spend years teaching them, and they wouldn't be able to say anything at the end, you know. Strange. Like baiting your head against the wall. But that's what he's doing anyway. He's teaching them. A few classes a week there now. Just give them a few bob. Probably just enough to cover the rent, you know. Get an old bowl of noodles every day for dinner. He says he loves the noodles. So you can get noodles here. Oh, 50 pence for a packet of them. Pour on the boiling water. Fucking, I don't like them myself now, but you know, if you're starving in a hurry, makes a good enough snack, you know. Keep you going. Keep the wolves away. I said, geez, I wouldn't want to be eating it every day, you know. Every day, noodles, Jesus. Paying all that rent, living in a little box miles away. Not being able to speak a word to anyone around you, you know. And sure, there's not many of us over there either, Only a handful of foreigners, he said. And they don't stick long there, they don't stand it. They can't stay much, just can't stand there for very long. They arrive, for a year or two. Backpackers, this kind of thing. Taking a year out, as they call it. Jesus, a year out from what? Off they go, packing around with their backpacks, eating noodles. So they'd be the only people he'd meet, So what goes of meeting them? You know what I mean? Other itinerants, how are you going to settle down with the likes of them? And sure, he hasn't a hope of settling with the locals, the natives. If you can't speak to people, how are you going to settle down with them? So I don't know what he's going to do, I don't know what his plans are at all. What's in his mind, So I suppose it's alright, if he doesn't have anything in there. He'll make his own mind up in his own time. I just hope he's happy over there, but hard to imagine it, I keep saying to him, just come back. Your place is there, your room is there. You can come and go as you please, there's your key. Just all you have to do is, come back. And find something here, eventually get settled down here a little bit. Get yourself a little bit of a job and, settle down, like. But he's always been like that, Oh, he was a fucking devil when he was younger. Well, you couldn't get him to say, you'd say black and he'd say white, You couldn't get him to do anything, or agree on anything. Or he wouldn't go along with anything, Oh, he was an awkward little fucker, little shite he was. I didn't really like him, I loved him, of course, because he's one of my own, but I didn't like him. He wasn't likeable, really. He was a willful little child. Always asking questions, Drive you mad. He'd be trying to peel the potatoes or something, and he'd ask you where the potatoes come from. Jesus sake. Always asking questions. But sure, it's the way they are, I suppose, these days. What can you do? It's the way the world is going. Ah, well. Sure, at least he's got a roof over his head anyway, and he's got a place to come back to, Any time he needs to come back, or he feels the need to come back, the door is always open to him. Told him that, sure. He knows it. If he stays away, it's his own choice, like, Nothing to do with us. We'd have him back tomorrow. But sure, it's just the way they are these days, you can never know with them. I mean, what do they want? What are they looking for? I'd ask myself that all the time. What's he looking for at all? Looking for some kind of a paradise or something, So Jesus. That's, you make your bed, you have to lie in it. That's what they always say. It's very, very true. I hope he learns his lesson now, and after a couple of years over there with the old noodles every day and the expensive accommodation and the ruthless people he's living with and all that, he might learn his lesson. I shall see what happens.